my name is Sienna, and this is my friend
Bria.
And we both work in admissions here at Linfield Christian School. And today we're doing a tour of our middle school, which is our 6th through 8th grade classes. And if you have any questions along our tour, you can go ahead and comment below, and we'll be sure to connect with you after our tour. So we're gonna come on in, and I'll show you some cool places.
Show you all around. So this is our plaza at the middle school. It's a great place for students in between classes to hang out, to get a snack before they connect in their next class. And also, it's just kind of like a natural transition way, breezeway between all of our classes.
Absolutely.
So we'll head on over here, and we're going to show you, first up is our library. Our library actually serves all of our students, elementary, middle, and high school. Our elementary schoolers walk up here once every other week to do a little library unit. Middle school uses it for a lot of like research, for papers. They learn how to do online research and how to check out books from a library.
Absolutely.
We can talk a little bit also about our Chromebook. Bring your own Chromebook at the middle school when we go in here. So this is our library. You can see Mrs. McGraw is our librrian. We interrupted her on her lunch.
I know. Hi, Mrs. McGraw. We're getting the library ready. As you can see, a lot of our textbooks are in here. At the middle school level, we do use textbooks, but we have a bring your own Chromebook. B-Y-O-C. Bring your own Chromebook. And so every single student at the middle school level, 6th through 8th grade, is required to bring their own Chromebook. We find that it is the best medium of technology, the most user-friendly. We use Google Docs, the whole Google Suites, and it works really well on Chromebooks.
Yeah, and so they'll come in here and they'll work sometimes in group projects, do some online research, and then also just if they're doing, like, for example, in science, when they're looking at their online lab, they can work on that in here as well.
Very cool, very cool. Kind of like an online textbook, right?
Yes. Yes.
Very cool.
So before we go in here, I want to talk about the philosophy of the middle school. The philosophy of the middle school is for our kids to be able to try everything. So you'll see that all across campus, but it is mostly represented in our schedule. It's very similar to our high school schedule. You can go back to our high school live tour if you want to see that. But I'm actually going to show us into one of our STEAM labs. It's an elective option at the middle school. And it'll make a little more sense the way the options work once I show you the schedule. So our schedule basically is all students take 7 different classes. So you'll take all of your core subjects, PE, and also an elective in a Bible class. So for your elective, when you start in 6th grade, you actually do a rotating elective cycle. So every quarter, you're going to be in a different elective class. That way you can get to try art and creative writing and digital design, and maybe you're great at all of those things, or maybe you do not love any of those things and you can't wait to be in our STEAM class. In 7th and 8th grade, you actually get to choose your elective. So if you're more interested in art and want to delve deeper in, or if you're interested in STEAM, you can choose that for yourself. So this is one of our elective options. This is our STEAM class. STEAM, each grade has a little bit of a different focus. In 6th grade, it's called Biomedical Detectives. It's kind of like a CSI class where basically they get to come across a victim of a murder, and it's put together by our drama department. They actually have to find time of death, and they have to figure out who did it based on the DNA clues that are at the crime scene that they've learned in the STEAM class. In 7th grade, they do a lot of 3D design, lots of 3D printing, and then in 8th grade, it's all about flight in space. So they get to actually 3D print drones and fly them. They get to work and make parachutes. There's one all the way over there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's one up there that they made last year, and they get to fly them. I saw a class one time where they actually had like some substances, and then they had to mix it all together in a bottle and then make the biggest explosion to like make their rocket fly the highest.
So fun.
So it's really hands-on and really fun for the kids, and it really just gets the mind thinking in a different way than just listening to lecture and memorizing that.
Totally.
So
I love that. Something that we love about our electives here is that since there are so many, it really gets our kiddos to be able to try everything, especially when you move up into high school. You have to specialize a little bit more in what you love. So at the middle school level, we want our kids to be able to know what they love and go into high school having that experience in every single area, whether that be creative writing, STEAM, anything like that, theater, all that good stuff.
We're going to head over here and we'll show you our next elective option that we like to show at our middle school, and that's drama. So drama is an option for all of our kiddos to be involved in at the middle school. They have been putting on different plays throughout the last few years. They usually do one like musical a year. Last year we did Seussical, and it happened in this facility, which is our Black Box Theater. by. There's actually a few different areas that our high school uses. It's at a different time than our middle school students. They're never in the same class together, but high school dance happens in here, and then high school theater also meets in this black box theater.
High school also do a couple of those productions. They'll usually have one big spring musical. Our high school's last spring musical production was Beauty and the Beast. So this year we have a great performing arts lineup for you, both middle school and high school, and they both meet in this black box theater.
We'll show you in here. So the great thing about the black box theater is it's a black box. She's doing a great job acting already. So this black box and black room actually enables us to be really creative in our set design. They can paint on the floor and repaint it if they wanted to. I've walked in and seen improving 6th and 7th graders who were like wiggling on the floor like worms. And that was their improv project for the day. You never know quite what you're going to get in here, but it's always something good, and that really delves into the kids and helps them with their public speaking, with their communication with each other, and also just getting them on stage and seeing their talents.
Totally, absolutely. Something else that happens in this black box theater at the high school level is maybe you're really into theater and you want to be a part of theater arts, but maybe acting's not your thing. You can learn how to do lights or do technology and be a part of the help and the setup crew. So even if theater's not your thing, there's a lot of different ways that you can get involved in fine arts. So really, really awesome. We love this room. It's my personal favorite room on campus.
It's a lot of fun. If you haven't seen a show and you're interested in your student maybe participating in theater when they're coming here, give us a call or comment below, and we'll give you tickets to the next show, and you guys can come on out and see what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we walk this way, we're heading into our athletics area, food area, and our middle school hub, which is actually pretty new to us. It was just built within the last couple years, so it's one of our favorite parts of campus.
So out here is where students will do break and break and lunch. And it's all the way out here. So they have full reign of a whole, probably a good 10 or 15 acres of really just being able to get the wiggles out. We have basketball courts. Kids are always playing basketball, always playing soccer. And then we have our food line. They're always buying some yummy, delicious French fries or
breakfast burritos, tots, chicken nuggets, whatever you want.
Whatever your heart desires.
Whatever I want right now, they sell here.
So students will actually eat over by our hub. If you want to look over here, our hub serves a variety of purposes. So sometimes all of our kids will come out here and they'll do like a community bonding time. They'll do games after school. They'll do games at lunch. So it's really a fun place. It's not fun looking right now because there's no kids, but I promise that when life is here on the campus, this is the place to be.
Absolutely. During lunch sometimes and our break times, we actually have these giant Jenga sets and giant Connect 4 sets that we'll actually have out on the hub, as well as a ping pong table. So it really helps with community bonding. A lot of our teachers will actually come out here and play with the kiddos and just hang out. And again, it helps with building that community at our middle school, which is one of our core values is community.
We're going to come in here. This is our 8th and 7th grade science lab. We also have a 6th grade science lab like this over a little bit. So fun fact about this building used to be our high school building. Mm-hmm. So that means that this lab is actually a high school lab. Yeah. You would be very hard pressed to find a traditional lab in any other middle school that is a high school level lab in this whole entire valley. So make sure to ask about that whenever you're looking at schools, because this is very important. If your kid does not love science, it may be because they're just reading out of a textbook each week. Mm-hmm. In here, they actually do a whole lab unit each week as they're learning about different ideas in their lab classes. So you can see in here, in 8th grade, they do focus a lot on flight and space. So you'll see they do these little rockets that they have, we have the ones from the last few years, the winners. It's a lot of working on projects. You can see here, the cell cycle when they're learning about biology in 7th grade. They try to make it really hands-on for the kids so that it's more fun than just sitting and listening to a lecture about science. Instead, it's actually doing it.
Absolutely. Tactile learning. Everybody loves
it. Yes. I'm also going to grab this for us. This is our schedule. I know that I briefly touched on it, but this is what it looks like. So there's 2 different weeks at the middle school. Monday, all 7 classes for 45 minutes. Tuesday through Friday, half of the classes each day for 90 minutes at a time. On Thursdays, we do have chapel. And then we have a flex time. Oh, yeah, we have a flex time on Thursday afternoon. That's time that's in like a homeroom where they do like a game or group bonding exercise.
Last year, I remember during flex time, they did a whole water balloon fight last year.
They did.
Again, part of that community bonding, that's actually built into our schedule because we know how important it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tuesdays, they do get out early at 2 o'clock along with all of our other campuses, just because our faculty does meet and do professional development at that time. The second week is exactly like the first, except the order is switched. So if you want this, you can go online to linfield.com, and it's under forms and links, and you can download that for yourself. We'll head on over here. One of the most important questions that we get asked at the middle school. Very important. This is a student question.
The most.
Every tour we get asked this. Do you have lockers
And
at
the
middle
answer
school?
is, absolutely we have lockers at middle school.
So as we're walking, you'll see lockers. All of our students do get a locker. It's a very big deal for middle schoolers. And they'll be able to keep their books in there, their backpacks, decorate it however they want. We've seen some craziness. We've seen chandeliers. We've seen all decked out pictures in the lockers. It's amazing what you can see with these kids. So, and you know what? I've heard they keep it cleaner than their rooms, parents. So you don't have to worry about that. They'll take some,
Lockers are actually categorized by grade and then by boys and girls. That way you don't have like a little 6th grade girl bumping into a big old 8th grade boy. So we just make sure that you are with your grade cohort and with your friends. So we're gonna go ahead and pop on in to our art room, which is another really awesome room on our campus.
So art traditionally has not been offered at our middle school. This year we are offering an art class at middle school for our electives. If you are interested, you definitely want to sign up at registration, or you can comment below if you would like to see a little bit more of it. But art is amazing. It's a high school and middle school class, different times, different, same teacher, but different class cohorts. But it occurs in here, all of them. We also have, for the high school, we have a digital photography. I'm sorry, it's not digital. It's
analog?
No.
For all your photographers out there, we have a photography
dark room.
class.
It's a dark room, so they print film and develop a dark room.
They use 35mm cameras that they actually have back there in lockers that you can rent out and use to take pictures everywhere. And then you'll actually go in there and it's a complete dark room, and you'll actually develop the photography. And Mrs. Wing, who's an incredible art teacher, will actually teach you the best way to develop the best art styles to take pictures. So it's really awesome, and that's for our high school level students.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We'll go show you some other places. Something else fun that we do on campus is actually field trips. So, Sienna, you want to talk a little bit about 6th grade?
Yes, I love the 6th grade field trip. So 6th graders go to Astro Camp, which is just so much fun. For a lot of 6th graders, this is the first time away from their parents, and they get to be with their friends and their middle school teachers. They go up to Idlewild, which is where Astro Camp is, and they have the best time. Astro Camp really delves deeper into science. We'll actually do things like build like a giant molecule in a pool, so it feels like you're building something in space. And you'll actually get to be in a machine that will simulate G-forces. So it really brings what you're learning in your science curriculum back to life. And not to mention, you're with all of your friends in 6th grade and you're having the best time. So 6th grade Astro Camp, really fun.
You gotta come for that. You
Yes.
really do. In 7th grade, all of their Bible curriculum is really kind of specifically focused on bonding and loving each other and being servant leaders. So in 7th grade, they do go up to a leadership camp at Palomar Christian Conference Center. And it's been really great for our kids. They've been able to bond and then plan activities for our middle school campus so that everyone can be really involved. So,
absolutely, super fun.
Our 8th grade trip, we'll talk a little bit more in here about it.
We have a couple really fun and unique 8th grade, different 8th grade events that we have specifically for our 8th graders. And this is Mrs. Martindale's classroom. She is one of our VIP teachers on campus.
She's amazing. She's been here, since we went to school here. And she just honestly cares and loves the kids so much, wants to bring history to life. She teaches 8th grade U.S. history. So we walked in at the end of school and they were learning about the Civil War. And they actually had like a simulation where everyone was in little groups and you had to roll the dice to decide if you were part of the Union or the Confederacy. And then you had to roll dice. If you were a Confederate soldier, you had to roll dice on whether you got shoes that day. And so that would actually like work into whether you lived or died in the war. And so whoever won was a part of the Union. But it was kind of fun just to see like the difference between the two sides and why one won and why one didn't. And it kind of brings it to life in a way that you wouldn't really expect.
Absolutely. I think with history especially, it can get kind of dull and boring, again, if you're just learning straight out of a textbook. So I think something that all of our teachers do, including Mrs. Martindale, really brings it to life. And that goes into going to 8th grade, or going to Washington, D.C. for their 8th grade field trip. Since they are learning about U.S. history the entire year of their 8th grade, at the end of 8th grade, in the spring semester, they'll be able to go to Washington, D.C. With their whole entire class and just be able to have those things they were learning about come to life, which we love.
It's great. So if you want to look here, you can see some of our last few classes that have went to DC. There's a lot of kids go. Most of our kids go. It's a really great time for all of our kids to bond and then, again, delve deeper and bring these ideas to life. I will say one of my other favorite events that happens in 8th grade because of Mrs. Martindale is our Titanic unit. So she shows an edited version of the Titanic film, and they study the Titanic in history and what that looked like and what that meant at the time. And then they all go to someone's house and throw ice blocks in a pool and then jump in. So they get to feel what it would be like to be in freezing cold California water.
I've been here since 8th grade. 8th grade was my first year at Linfield, and so this has been a long-standing tradition since even before I went to school here. And so I remember going to a friend's house, bringing an ice block, dressing in really fancy clothes, and jumping into, what was it, like 35-degree water and just freezing our butts off. But it really, again, brings it to life. And again, bonding. We love that community bonding with not only your peers, but your teachers as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So this is not a very exciting classroom to show right now because all of our desks are gone, but this is just a typical look at a Linfield Middle School classroom, and some of our other ones are actually being set up currently, so we're not able to pop you into too many today. But if you want to see the campus, please comment below.
Yes.
You can share this post if you have any questions. Also, you can also PM us or send us a message through our email. Otherwise, I think that we've gone through most of what the middle school has to offer.
I think you did a great job.
You too.
Thank you. Again, if you have any questions, comment below. You can always contact us at linfield.com. And then, we're always open to schedule tours, to answer any questions on the phone.
And just to answer one more question, yes, there is still spots available in every single grade. We have had to open a new kindergarten class, actually, because so many kids were interested. So we do still have spots. Our class sizes are really small. Our average is 19 at the middle school. We'll actually be a little bit smaller, probably 18 next year. So if you want a really great environment for your kids where they are covered in community, Christ-centeredness, and are dug into in college prep, this is your place. So comment below, call us. If you have any questions, we're here for you. Bye!
Bye!